What's up, Darkness Live Tribe?
Oh my God, we're alive.
We are. We survived the Rona, and
I survived the Rona. I need to order a shirt that says I survived the Rona, and all I got was a stupid t-shirt.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Oh, man. So, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? I want you to take a minute and like this video, share this video, post it on a page, in a group, whatever you want to do. What's up, Christy? What's up,
Christy?
Ashley? So, yes.
Oh my God,
like,
Ashley.
share, follow the page, subscribe, whatever.
Do it all. Do it up.
Yep.
Every time I hear somebody say "do it," I think of the movie Starsky and Hutch, where Ben Stiller's in this like real 70s disguise, and he's like, "Do it." You know? Yeah. But anyways, so how are you doing there, husband? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. That's okay, Dahlia, because it's been a while since we've been on the air. We've been fighting the Rona and everything else going on, so
Yeah.
it's good to see you, though.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm doing okay. I'm tired. I'm tired. I worked.
It's understandable.
3 12-hour shifts in a row the last 3 nights. So
You put in your time, eh?
yeah, yeah. Outside of that, it's just been
Your new endeavor is like obsessing over buying fish tanks.
Well, no, I saw a good deal and I bought it. I mean,
How many fish tanks have you bought?
Mind
Mind you, we have no fish, people.
Not yet.
Yet. We don't have any.
Yet.
Although Jeremiah was telling me one of the breeds of fish that he really like enjoys having, and he showed me a picture. And I took one look at that fish, and I'm like, oh my God, if you get a fish like that, we got to name him Gwar. Remember the band? Are they still a band?
Hell, I don't know.
I've never even heard their music, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
You know what? I think tomorrow I'll jam out to some Gwar, Gwar. All I remember, I have this very vivid image of that band. I don't even know what I was watching. I was watching something. I was probably MTV or I don't believe it would have been VH1.
Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And yeah, back when I was not
dating myself there.
back when I was not allowed to watch MTV and would sneak on it, you know. I remember Gwar and their crazy like get up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was. I would have paid to go to see them, like just to see them in action, because I bet they put on one hell of a show. I mean, I betcha that they did. I mean, if Gene Simmons can pull off them heels, I mean, not heels, he didn't wear heels, the platforms.
Yeah.
Then I bet Gwar. I should start wearing my Darkness Live T-shirt.
You should.
I really should. I should. You pull it off.
I rock it every time.
You do.
So.
You do. I need to, people. I can't help it. I love my David Bowie T-shirts.
That was a drink.
I have
that was a drink for me, by the way.
I have a lot of David Bowie people. No, well, I have a lot of people that love David Bowie as much as I do. I don't know about that. Maybe, possibly, but I have a lot of David Bowie T-shirts.
Yeah.
I go through like a phase where I'll be like, "Ooh, I got to get this one. Ooh, nope, next payday. Okay, yep, next payday rolls around. Yep, got to order that one." Amazon has become my very toxic friend.
Yes. I'm very aware.
Very, very toxic friend.
You have to make sure when you buy something off of Amazon, you have to make sure you're paying for it out of the right account.
Yeah, I kind of got into trouble because I didn't realize that our Amazon account was connected to
our business account?
The business account. No, man, I was ordering a bunch of stuff, and then Jeremiah was like, we have a problem.
Wait!
Stop it right now. Yeah, that was... Hey, you know what? It's all good, though. It's all good.
Yes, it's all good. We made it all right, and it's all good.
Captain Carl's watching.
Christy...
Ken is watching too.
We've gotten a lot of requests for Darkness Live T-shirts, and I am working on that. I promise I am. It's kind of everything got put on the shelf there for a little while, but
I felt like it was put on the shelf a little bit before a little while though. Like I felt like it got we got really sidetracked on a few other things before the Rona hit.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now we're better, and I'm better, and we're refreshed and rejuvenated, revitalized. All those other R
Well,
words.
speak for yourself.
Well, okay, then I am very, very much back to feeling my normal Sagittarian self. Yeah, Jeremiah and I were having an interesting conversation about Sagittarians, and he was like, "Well, no, you say it. You're the one who said it. You were like, well, not everybody can handle some of the traits of a Sagittarius."
So the more endearing qualities
I like
that you Sagittariuses exude.
Hey, it's all about perspective, It's all about perspective. Some people love us. Some people...
I think I'm about 5 drinks behind
probably,
now.
I think that, we're probably the bane of some people's existences.
For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I say I'm behind on my drinks, it's because every time Stephanie changes the subject, I have to take a drink of my beer. Mm-hmm. So, and I need to get another one. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah.
One of those enduring Sagittarian traits.
You wouldn't change it. Well, I don't know. You might. You might.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't.
So
I get to drink more beer this way. What are you talking about?
This is true. I'm very pleased to announce that we are almost done with all of our shopping for the end of December.
Oh my God.
Yes,
and the business account is very aware of that.
But it's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. I love it. Like, my main love language is giving gifts. And so, how I show love, right? And so, yeah, the business account is very depleted because of my love language. What can I say? Voodoo Ranger.
Experimental IPA. I'm not a big IPA fan. I don't know why I grabbed that.
What is an IPA? I don't even know what that means.
It's a type of beer, and it's usually got a really bitter aftertaste that I'm really not a fan of.
Ew. Okay.
Sorry about that. So we have some stuff coming up. Again, we are working on. I am working on the t-shirts and getting kind of, that arranged, and yeah, I don't know. I've got to, yeah, I'm I'm stumbling over my words here.
You want me to talk? Because I'm good at that.
I have a lot that I've got to do, and I've got to figure out where I left off. It's been a while since I worked on any of that, so I've got to figure out where I left off.
There's my awesome sister.
Yes.
I have a sister.
Yep.
And her name is Becky. Mm-hmm. I'm like lucky because I don't have any siblings of my own, so I get to claim you, Becky. I think she'll claim me back. I think
that's
she will.
That's almost like it's very citrusy. The citrus is almost enough to knock out the aftertaste. I could actually drink that.
Ooh.
I haven't found a new favorite beer, by the way. It
still like Warbeard?
It would be a long way from my favorite beer, but it's an IPA that I could drink actually. So that's interesting. Anyway, we have.
She'll claim me. You're awesome, Becky. No, Becky is a badass.
Yes, she is.
I have seen Becky in sibling action live, and she is a badass.
Jumped in between me and my brother one night, and
she sure did. And me and Michaela and Jericho are all just standing there with our jaws dropped, like, wow, Becky is a badass. Growing up with them brothers, I bet she had to be, though.
Yeah, especially those brothers.
Ashley said, look at the percentage.
Okay. We're going to find it. Oh, wow.
Belgium. My all-time favorite, I love the band Bowling for Soup. I've seen them twice. Yes, I do love the band Bowling for Soup, people. I just saw that it says New Belgium on there, and my favorite song by them was Belgium. I love that song. I don't know if you've ever heard it.
So that's another drink for me.
I'm gonna get you drunk.
This is pretty strong.
I'm gonna get you drunk.
I don't know if it's a.
It's your Friday, right? It's your Friday technically. Your Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's okay. So now I'm 2 drinks behind.
Yes. Bottoms up, buddy.
And we may, if I can.
Is this weekend
she said she had to fend for herself. Yeah, I bet.
Hey, is this weekend the live investigation?
So that's
Saturday
we
night? What?
we might. It's going to depend on kids. It's going to depend on what we can
They
figure
can
out to do
fend
with
for themselves.
Figure out to do with the kids.
They can fend for themselves.
But if at all possible, and this is bear in mind, folks, this is just going to be kind of a test run of the equipment, and making sure that we can get everything set up and running right. Plus, we really don't have great mics for it.
I feel like I'm in the dark. I feel like looking at the screen. I feel like I'm in the dark. Oh, let there be light.
The comments kind of vignetted out.
Vignetted.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'll forgive you.
Anyway,
this time,
yes, this weekend we may be doing at least a short, like, live investigation. It's not going to be a big production. It's just going to be a test run. But keep an eye out for that, because we will announce it if we get the opportunity and decide to go for it.
I'm down for whatever.
And
Yoda would be down for whatever too.
So is Yoda.
Yeah.
He's talking about messages from the dark side.
Speaking of Yoda, I actually met somebody over the weekend whose eyes literally looked like Baby Yoda. I really wish I was joking, but it was one of those moments where you meet somebody and you can't look away because it's so you can't move your eyes away from what you're seeing. I can't disclose any other information about the individual other than people. It was
this person
something.
Does they have the biggest? I mean, actually,
that doesn't even
their eyes actually look black.
Yeah,
and they are huge.
It looks like you're looking at pupils,
and
literally just pupils. There's no color, and you can barely see the sclera, whites,
the white part.
Yeah,
it is. They literally do. Anytime they look at you, they look like they're just peering straight into your soul
I'm going to eat your soul. Yes. Yeah. That individual. It was.
By the way.
It was. It's not the person's fault. They were born that way, but my God.
Yeah.
It was It was a moment I'll never forget.
Super amazing person, though.
Yes. Absolutely.
Super amazing person.
Absolutely. So. But I've been hearing about, this individual's eyes for a while, and I finally was all excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to meet him. And I went in and met them, and oh my God. Honestly, I'm sure I had a reaction that he noticed. They noticed. I'm telling you guys, it was remember back in the day when remember the band Limp Bizkit? Of course y'all do. The guy that was either drummer, not drummer, the guitarist or bass player, Wes. His name was Wes. I can't remember his last name. But anyways, he would wear those contacts that were make his eyes look all black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was for real, real life happening that I met somebody with. And I'm really done talking about it because I don't want to think about his eyes anymore. They're very unnerving to look at. Unnerving is really good word. Hey, enough on all that crap. Let's get our guests on. They're fabulous women. I just love them so much.
Tonight,
I wish they were closer to us. I wish we lived closer.
Yeah. Well, they're not terribly far. I mean,
they're just a phone call away.
It's a drive out to visit them would not be completely
out of the
question.
Way, I have to interrupt you. I just want y'all to know that I missed you guys the past 2 weeks, and thank you for everybody who reached out to check on me to make sure I wasn't dying. And that coronavirus is the weirdest thing because it's some people it affects and really knocks them on their ass, and then you get some people that it just doesn't. You just don't know. You don't know how you're gonna make it through that period of illness. And I was fortunate enough that it didn't wiped me out completely.
Yeah, you actually did pretty good. You only had symptoms for even like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I think your body aches and fatigue were probably your worst symptoms.
Yeah.
You didn't even really get a cough.
I didn't get a cough. I didn't get a runny nose. I didn't get a fever. Yeah, it literally was
Did
just...
your sense of taste change?
I did taste one thing that seemed off, but...
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I tasted...
Was it coffee that tasted like Dr. Pepper or something?
Yeah, something was very off, and I... Yeah, it was because I tasted something. I was like, that's kind of odd. That don't taste right. And that was the extent of it. That was as bad as it got. So I was pretty glad about that. But anyways,
and only for like 4 days. So it was
my existence, which getting knocked on my ass like that, going from 110% gone nonstop,
actually probably did you some good because you are constantly. I thought I was up and around all the time. Until I met you, but you're like me on steroids, man. Just like constantly doing something. You can't even sit. You're not sitting still right now. You've got that knee going.
I do.
It's like a jackhammer on the floor.
I do. I don't. It's not even a conscious thing. Like I'm actually more aware of if I am completely still than if I'm not. Like it's hard for me to just sit still. And then I get after our 3-year-old. Sit still, just sit still. Jeremiah's looking at me like.
I remember the first time that I ever took her to a movie.
Oh my God! What was it?
I don't remember what the movie was, but I remember very well about halfway through it having to forcibly put my hand on your knee and hold your foot down because I couldn't focus on the movie.
Yeah,
but I still couldn't focus on the movie because I had to focus on holding your knee still.
I would try. I would try to. Anyways, it is what it is. I've made it this many years. Not going to change it now.
That was one of my vices until we got together. Just I love to just sit down and zone out and watch movies. That was like the only time I wasn't completely up and out and about and doing something. But I don't even have that anymore. I can probably count on, I don't know, probably less than 24 times in the time that we've been together that I've actually gotten to sit down and watch a movie straight through when both of us are home.
Yeah.
So.
Although I did really well, we started watching The 100 on Netflix, and I did pretty well with that. If I get into something, though, like which isn't frequently, but when I do. And I'll sit there and watch the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, let's call them for the love of...
Hang on.
I'm calm.
So our guests tonight are amazing Tays and Laken from Manisol Holistic. They are wellness coaches, tiny house dwellers, spiritual students, and all-around free hippie spirits. Their practice centers around incorporating wellness and spirituality into the daily lives while educating their clients on ways to guide their own path.
Yes.
It's really a cool thing that they do. And we actually have firsthand testimony about it.
Me!
So,
when did they come on? Back in like July? It had to.
Like
yeah,
that,
it was in July. And, I wasn't feeling the best about myself. And I'm like, man, I got to do something about this. So I reached out to them, and they totally got me on a path to wellness. And, and they don't focus just on like physical wellness. They focus on, mind, body, and spiritual wellness. And, all three. It's a package deal. And so, it worked. I don't know what else to say. It worked, people. I literally am 3 pounds away from my goal. Actually, my goal weight. What are you doing? You're calling him.
Don't talk about that yet. Wait till we get them on here.
Oh, okay. Whoa, Stephanie, back it up.
Okay, so I had the phone number pre-programmed over there, but now it's gone. So give me just a quick second here.
Oh, I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you a little bit.
Okay. I have to think consciously about not saying this out loud.
Don't say it out loud.
Okay, I think that's right. Yep. Okay, here we go. Let's get them on.
Yes, please, please. Do.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
We're good. We're
Good.
good.
Aw, it's so good to hear your voice. Laken, say hi. I'm like, I know that was Tay because Laken's more, I think, the quiet one when it comes to speaking.
Hello.
Hey, there she is. We made her come out of her shell. That's not a bad thing, though. Sometimes it'd be better if I just shut up, I think.
She's like sitting in the corner cringing, like at the attention.
That's okay. That's okay.
You're going to do awesome.
Yes, you'll be perfect. Perfect.
So what's going on? How have you guys been?
We've been good. I mean, it's like flipping cold out here, and so we've been kind of bunkering down for winter. My parents are building a house, and we've just been kind of rocking, having clients, and trying to fill our free time because we don't have jobs other than our own stuff.
Very cool.
Man, that's awesome. And you guys probably, you know, they say if you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. And I get to experience that. And I'm sure that you guys get to experience that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really like trying to fill the time, like when you're not doing stuff you love.
Right, right. So you guys, actually, Tay and Laken, why don't you guys go ahead and tell everybody who is watching, just kind of tell us a little bit about yourselves and what do you do? Services, what do you offer?
So we do kind of like a few different kinds of wellness coaching. I guess it all is like one kind because what we do is when we do intake for our new clients, we kind of just ask them what they're wanting and kind of devise different diets and different strategies food-wise to get them on. And then we do a lot of like spiritual counseling with everybody, try to get them connected again, like whatever religion, spirituality they are. And then we also try to get them into like meditation and things like that.
Very cool.
Man, Tay, I just have to tell you, like, you guys, you guys are like my heroes. Like, you guys, what you did for me, I mean, it's evident what you did for me. And anybody that doesn't know, yeah, like I was a lot heavier in July and I decided to do their course and yeah, it worked, people. Like it works. Like you guys put the tool. I mean, yes, the individual has to have the discipline and everything and really want it, you know, be ready for a change. But, you know, Tay and Laken offer, you know, they offer help, you know, for anybody who's serious about wanting to make those changes, those lifestyle changes. It's not just a, you know, a temporary fix. It's like a lifestyle change.
Right.
You know, that's the key there.
I think that's...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we try to focus like mainly on lifestyle change because like fad diets and like that kind of stuff just doesn't last and like nobody can keep that kind of motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And like we want to make sure that they're in it. And like with you, Stephanie, you were on our most basic diet. Like you rocked our like very, very basic diet that we start everybody with.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like went with it.
Hell yeah, I did. I mean, you know, I'm a force to be reckoned with. When there's something I want, like I'm like a racehorse with blinders on. Like I am determined, and I, you know, at my core, you know, when I want something, I mean, I will do what I have to make it happen. You know what I mean? And you guys just provided the knowledge and the tools and the know-how on how to make these changes to get rid of the extra weight. And not only the extra weight, people, before I started their program, I was on an antidepressant. I was on what's that other one?
Well, it was you were
an anxiety medication. Yeah. And I was able to get off of them. I was able to get off of the medications. I did not need them anymore. And so I have to give a huge air ghost hug to you both for that, because I mean, it just, it changed my life. Like, you guys really did. And I'm forever grateful. Like, you guys are like my heroes for that, because, you know, it's not every day that you can meet somebody that can, you know, give you the tools, you know, to be able to make those changes to just all around for your wellness, you know. Like I said, you know, not just your physical wellness, but your spiritual, your emotional, any kind of help that you need in any category, they can help with that. Mm-hmm. You guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people don't realize that nutrition and, like, really just health have a lot to do with our mental issues.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I mean, I totally believe that some people, you know, like, have diagnosed illnesses, like bipolar or whatever. But, like, we can help those symptoms by just feeding our bodies better and exercising and feeling better, and, like, maybe reduce them to nothing or just keep them at a really manageable level.
Yeah. So, like, so I know that you mentioned, you know, for my program, you just kept me at, like, the most basic, you know, program. What would be above? So could you kind of explain to the viewers what you started me on, and then maybe explain to the viewers what would be the next level beyond what I did?
Yeah, so what we started you on was a Candida cleanse. So what basically, I mean, our first phone call, I just ran you through what Candida is, which is a fungus that lives in all of our bodies. And what we did was we just took out any of the foods that make it grow. Because what Candida does is it really controls all of our body systems into feeding it more, which means that it wants to be fed grains and sugar because it likes yeast. So what we did was we took off all of the foods like bread, sugar, dairy, inflammatory foods like that, and all you did was just cut them out. And I mean, if you can see Stephanie and you knew her before, she looks better, she feels better, like, and that's all that she did. That's all she did. And so then the next step would be, I guess you, babe.
This is the part that I like to take, is like the next bit. After you get your body to a point where you can feel it properly and listen to it, the next step is like a full intuitive eating, where, you know, maybe you do have some bread once in a while, but your mindset is good about it and your body accepts it well, and you know how to eat for your life and for what you need at the time. And that's like the next bit, and kind of how we are. That's how we eat.
Yeah, and like intuitive eating, which is what we are trying to like teach people towards, is really just like listening to your cravings and understanding food. So like I've been craving peppers, and so I need vitamin C because peppers are full of vitamin C, and like things like that. And when you can listen to your body, once you get that candida out, you can like feel when foods make you feel sick or when foods make you feel good. And like that's really the next step of teaching people what's in foods, what are the minerals, what are the vitamins and groups, and giving them like that knowledge to be able to make their own decisions on where they want to go, which is like exactly what biohacking is.
That's such an awesome word, biohacking.
It's you know, that first step, it has to be, it seems to me anyway, that first step is kind of critically important in the whole process, because so many of us, our bodies are completely fooled into craving the wrong things. Does that make sense? Because, you know, it's like I work in healthcare, and I couldn't tell you how many people that I see that are chronically dehydrated, and they don't even have really a thirst reflex anymore because they've been so chronically dehydrated for so long. And, you know, you have to, once you get them, just an example, once you get someone back into the proper habits of fluid intake and hydration, it's like it takes them. It takes a little while before your body realizes, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like, and so now you're craving water again when you get thirsty instead of some other crap.
Yeah, man, Tay, I'll never forget when I was drinking water and I said, "Oh my God, this water is so good." And he's like, "I never thought I would hear you say that."
Ever.
Well, I mean, a lot of people who are chronically dehydrated hate the taste of water, which, like, Laken and I always find just absolutely ridiculous because, like, water is, like, our favorite freaking thing. Like, getting a nice cold glass of water, like, especially, like, in the middle of the night or something, feels so good. But what they're really reacting to in water is they don't like the taste of the minerals, because if you're chronically dehydrated, you also have a mineral deficiency. And, like, people don't realize that we get a lot of our minerals from water. And
Right.
We get a lot of our nutrients from water, as well as, like, all the beautiful spiritual things we can get from water, and, like, talking to it and putting good intentions and energy into it. But, like, it's the same with food. And when you don't eat, like, a variety of things, if you don't eat highly nutritional things, you are in a state of deficiency and your body is shutting down, basically.
Right.
You know, I can't, you know, I will say, I think the weirdest part for me of that whole experience so far was I got a hold of her because I'm like, God, I stink. Like, I smelled so bad. Deodorant didn't work. Showering didn't work. Nothing worked. And I'm like, oh my God, I reek. Like, I smell. And if you can smell it yourself, you know that you stink, right? And yeah, so Tay, explain to the viewers why I smelled so bad. God, it was bad too. It was pungent. It was terrible.
Yeah, so, like Lake just said, it, you are what you eat. So when people have, like, really, really bad body odor, like any kind of body odor, it's because our epidermis, like our skin, is the biggest organ in our body, and it is how we get toxins out of our body. And so if you have toxins, it's going to come out of your skin in either acne, blackheads, or it's going to come out in odor. And, like, most of our, like, body odors are the candida overgrowth, like yeast. It can be heavy metals. It can be too much sulfur. I mean, like, all kinds of things. But when people stink, it's because everything in their body is breaking down and it's not good. So your body has to purge a lot. Like, if you eat a lot of processed food has a lot of chemicals in it that your body cannot process. And so all of those chemicals have to go somewhere, and your body doesn't want to send them to your liver and kidneys, and so it will push them out through your blood and through your skin so that your liver and kidneys don't have to handle them. And I mean, that's why we stink. And, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, Laken and I don't need to, like, wear deodorant.
Oh,
That's
I don't
not
now.
people.
I'll admit it. I don't have to wear it now at all, and nobody would ever know because I never stink. I mean, I don't think I do.
Yeah, I mean, humans shouldn't have to. And then also, like, your breath, like, your mouth microbiome has a lot to do with that, like, almost directly. Like, if your tongue is a different color, like, it's like you can see how unhealthy people are just by looking at their skin or by smelling them.
Oh, wow. And then here you have all these companies that make deodorant to make you not stink or cover it up. In reality, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Right.
So there's the lesson
and
of
most of the things.
Go ahead.
Most of, like, deodorants have, like, awful things in them too. Like,
Yeah.
if it says, like, an antiperspirant, don't put it on your body because you're closing your pores, and, like, that's even worse because then you're trapping everything in there.
Right.
Or, like, if it has aluminum in it, then you're getting heavy metal poisoning. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's always been one of my things about that. Of course,
Because you don't wear deodorant.
I haven't worn deodorant in years, probably over a decade.
I know people watching are like, you guys don't wear deodorant? No, actually, I don't wear deodorant.
But,
I don't have a need to.
You know, I mean, I've never had anyone complain about me stinking unless I've been out on the farm all day. But
Right.
you know, that's that's another story. But the thing that always struck me, especially since I started paying any kind of attention to this stuff because I have eczema really bad, and it just pretty much and that's actually the reason I quit wearing deodorant to start with is because of my eczema, because any store-bought product would just set my skin on fire. But then I started doing research on it, and just like you were talking about, Tay, the antiperspirant it's actually a medication. It affects the way your pores work. You don't produce sweat. It's a medication to keep you from producing sweat. And then, like Tay said to start with, that's how you shed a lot of toxins.
Yeah.
And so, taking away an avenue of shedding toxins doesn't sound like a healthy choice to me. So
no. But yeah, it is. It's so yeah, it is. It's kind of interesting though because. And like now, like I don't even think about it. Like I don't even stop to think like, oh, I forgot my deodorant. And I'm terrible because like now that I don't use it, I fail to consider, oh, my patients probably want deodorant on. Right. Like after I help somebody get cleaned up or whatever, and I'm like, I have to consciously remind myself they probably want deodorant. Because I'm so out of the loop of putting it on. But yeah, it's wild how that works. And I'll never forget when you were explaining to me the candida in your gut, all I could think of was Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. That's all I could think about. Feed me, Seymour, feed me.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like, I remember our first phone call, and you said that, and I was like, it is, because all Candida wants is to be fed yeast, and that yeast is glucose. Like, and it's all the bad things for us. Like, everybody knows, like, at least baseline, what they should and they shouldn't eat. Like, we all know we shouldn't have pasta every night. We all know we shouldn't have cookies for every meal of the day. And so, why do people still do it? And like, I get it. I'm an emotional eater. I would love to eat macaroni and cheese and cookies for every single meal of the day, but it is not good for your body. And like, you can manage those things. You can have cookies like once in a while, or figure out how to make them like gluten and sugar free and like things like that.
Mm-hmm. Another cool thing, or go ahead.
Another thing I just thought of was like, it's like a personal thing, but I don't shower or bathe. And like, if anybody meets me, I'm not like some like nasty, dirty hippie, but I've managed to eat my way into a really, really good skin microbiome because I don't have to purge toxins, that my hair produces just the right amount of oil, that I don't have to wash it out, and that it actually cleans my hair, which is what human hair oil is supposed to do. And my skin just needs to be dry brushed to keep clean, or like occasionally, like if I'm out like in the garden getting mud on me, like a wipe down with like a wet washcloth. But a lot of people think that that's crazy. But like, I haven't washed my hair in probably 2 years.
Yeah, when we met, we stopped washing our hair.
Yeah, like,
wow.
And it's wild, but like, it's just because of the way we live and the way that we eat. We don't have toxic bodies, and so our skin shows that, and our smell, and like the way that our bodies react to things. Because when you think back in caveman times, like our bodies and animals' bodies, like when you think about dogs, like our oil is actually cleaning. It's supposed to clean us. And if your skin oil, your scalp oil, anything like that is not cleaning you, then there's something wrong with your body.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
That is very
interesting.
Well, there is something to what you're saying about the hair, because I went from, but this has been like a few years in the making, but man, a few years ago, I would wash my hair daily. Okay. Like every day. And then I got to the point where I'm like, this seems so unnecessary to wash it every day. Right. So then I stretched it to like every other day, and then I stretched it to every third day. And, so now like I'll wash my hair, once or twice a week. But I partly do that. Well, yeah, I do once or twice a week. But it's funny because, at first when I switched it up from daily to not every day, oh my God, my hair was so greasy. It was so oily. And then when I switched it to, going longer, you don't have to. I don't have to wash my hair every day because my hair, my body got, acclimated to not needing, it produces the oils and stuff that I don't have to.
Right.
And that's like, so this is interesting too, but I do not. And Tay, so you said, so what about your face? Like, do you wash your face or you don't do that?
I really don't wash like pretty much anything. I have like every other day or so I'll have like a warm washcloth bath, and we're really vigorous dry brushers. If anybody knows what that is, it's basically just taking like a really rough bristle brush and you brush your skin towards your heart, and it's just to like get all the dead skin cells off and to get your blood moving, and it's really, really good for your circulation.
Oh, wow.
And so I'll dry brush my face. But like, if anybody can have saw that picture, I have like a beautiful olive complexion, and so I have native blood in me, and so I have just the right amount of oil in my skin. Laken, and
have to wash my face.
she's like a Nordic god, and she has to wash her face. But like,
my skin is different, but yeah, like I know that we have different skin.
Yeah, and we
do different things.
We have different hair. Like, she has to wash her hair every couple weeks.
I water wash it. I don't use stuff.
Yeah, she uses like apple cider vinegar and stuff. And like, that's of course like just like our diet plans and like the way that we coach. Like, it's all individual. Like, my body was made to kind of like live in the woods away from society, and like was like almost there, and some people like isn't. And then also like when you don't wash your hair or when you don't like wash your skin, it does take a lot of work to keep it like nice and to keep it healthy, because like I have to dry brush twice a day to keep my skin from getting like too dry or too flaky, and I have to comb and like bristle brush my hair every day to distribute the oils properly. So I mean, it takes time, but for us, like, it's a self-care practice because it makes us really close to our own bodies, where we're taking time out of the day every single day, twice a day, to really take care of our skin, really take care of our hair. And for me, like, my stuff is all Tays Eye Clean, so my hair is my main, and I have like ceremonial dreads in it that I like put oils in every day and do affirmations. And it's really like, for us, it's time spending time with ourselves and loving ourselves, like, really. And a lot of people don't have time for that, and I get that. And some people just love washing their hair. Like, it's a deep pleasure for some people.
Right.
But like, again, like, shampoos strip your hair of those natural oils, and so your hair will start to like form more oils to make them back, which is why people who wash their hair every day have such greasy hair, like, in between.
Yeah. That's
and
very
then,
true.
And then there's me.
Yeah, and then there's you. And then there's you.
My well, I don't have any hair up top anymore, but my beard is I don't know what to do with my beard, but I don't
either.
I
It needs
oil the
some
shit out of it, but
yeah, you do. But Tay, that's like, speaking of soaps and stuff like that. Like, Jeremiah, how long have you been making your own soap?
long time. 15, almost 20 years.
Yeah, and the soap the soap that you make, it doesn't like strip all of the natural oils off your skin, does it?
Well, it's all oils. That's what real soap is it's fats and oils that are saponified with lye. You know, most of the crap that you buy off of a Walmart shelf now, it's not real soap. It's a detergent, a chemical detergent. You know, so.
Well, and that's like a big thing too. Like, Jeremiah, you make your soap. Like, for Laken and I, we spend like at least an hour every day, like, on our skin and hair, like, instead of taking a shower. Like, our big thing, and like exactly what you're doing, Jeremiah, is that like whatever you do and anything that you put in or on your body, you should have a really strong relationship with it. You should have like good intentions behind it. Like, if you make your soap, or even if you like buy your soap from somebody you really care about, like, society shouldn't be about going to the store, picking the prettiest one on the shelf, and bringing it home and washing your hair. It should be something that you connect with and not something out of convenience.
Right.
Which is like a big part of our lifestyle, is that you should have a relationship with everything you do. And if you don't, then it's not worth it. Like,
right. I feel like that's a good segue to move back to your second step in the spirituality of it. That I apologize, I kind of veered us away from a while ago, but you know,
Have a drink. Have a drink.
Take off and talk a little bit more about that. I mean, I know we have a little bit, but you know what? Just
well, yeah. So like our second step, like what Laken said, and it's really like her expertise, is like intuitive eating. It is like the spirituality, and it's like, so like we have to go 100% get the candida out of your body, get any toxins out, so that you can feel your body and you can feel that it's real, that it's a temple, that like every single day you can feel what each food does to your organs. And that's like a really big spiritual relationship with yourself, because then anything that you do is in junction with that. And so like our spiritual nutrition side of it, like the next step is just introducing that, like redoing all the pathways that like us emotional traumatic eaters do, that like they see a cookie and they think, oh my gosh, I want that like so bad. And then the shame cycle right after of, oh no, I can't have that, I need to watch my weight. And then the, oh, like, F it, I'll do it anyway, and go eat the cookie, and then afterwards feel guilty. So all that's happening to that cookie in your stomach is all the negative intention that you cycled around it before you put it in your body. When, like, if you really wanted that heckin' cookie, like, put some, like, awesome affirmations in it, like, get gratitude into it, and say, I will take anything out of this that I can, and I'm going to derive some pleasure from it. And do that like with everything. Like even if you don't like kale, you know kale is gonna like bless your body with green magic. And so put it in your body and like let it be blessed. And like really just let everything be like beautiful like that. Like we just started a new diet for ourselves. Like we call ourselves like intuitive biohackers. And like I'm serious, like every single week one of us is like, hey babe, I want to try this. And like I recently, I mean, I've always known this, but I'm very gluten intolerant. So like almost celiac gluten intolerant.
Oh, wow.
And like I've been having really, really bad stomach problems. And I was just in denial about it because Laken and I had just started to eat gluten again. We were having a great time with the bread and making like beautiful like Mediterranean dishes with it. And I was like, okay, well, I think that this is the issue. And then Laken was like, no, that's definitely the issue. And like, so we had to cut gluten out again. But like in that, like, I know that that is something that will always be the bane of my existence. And so ever since we stopped, which I think we're like almost 3 weeks now, like completely gluten-free, like I feel so much better. And like, cutting out that stuff, like kind of practicing what we preach, even like the 80-20, like we always say like 80% good, 20% bad every day so that you have some wiggle room to be human.
Yeah.
Like my 20% can't be bread. My 20% can be like the like macaroons that I make at 9 o'clock at night, like that kind of thing.
Mine is gluten.
Yeah. Yeah, she can still have gluten.
Love me some bread.
Right.
Yes.
But I guess in synapses, like the second step is listening to your body and honoring what it tells you. Like really, like not letting your mind take control, like and our like kind of traumatic and karmic impulses towards food or towards exercise or towards whatever it is that like is the problem. Like taking a step back and saying like I need to do what's good for me. And truthfully, a lot of times like what we've noticed with most of our clients is that they need to be afraid of something in order to really like engage with it. Like we've had like some like people like mine is like not wanting to feel sick all the time. Like Stephanie wanted to get better, she wanted to feel better, and it takes like that step like of wanting some kind of change to really like move forward.
Oh yeah. You
Well-
know, my favorite saying is change only happens when discomfort meets desire. You know, you're not going to have real change until you are at a place where you are, your level of discomfort has met your level for desire for change.
Yeah.
You know, that's like with people who smoke or people who drink or people who, you know, whatever your vice is, you know, until you at your core.
You're talking to me right
No,
now.
no, I'm just talking I'm talking in general. You know, at your core, if you really want it, you'll do it. You know, but if you're not mentally at that place where you're ready to make those actual changes, it's not gonna work.
You know, at the same time, I think, you know, a lot of this, and tell me what you guys think about this, but I think a lot of these issues that we have right now that's so prevalent, not just in American society, but it's not as prevalent in other parts of the world, but it's still there. But a lot of this is because we have lost in our... I have to be careful how I say this, or I'll get yelled at. In our society that's become so science based, we've lost the science of spirituality.
Well, and you know, along with what you just said, we've also lost, you know, the connection with food. I feel.
And
you know?
which is I mean, at its core, I believe, is a spiritual connection. I think there should be a spiritual connection with everything around us.
Yeah.
You know, but that's, you know, what do you guys think about that?
So this is one of my like personal favorite topics ever is science and spirituality. But I completely agree that science took a turn towards only accepting tangible proof, you know, like quantitative data. If you can't see it happen, it's not real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it all went wrong. Yeah, I mean, that's why, I don't know, that's why I've taken like it all into my own hands. I actually was going to go to school to be a scientist, and I got pissed off in college because it was like all completely detached from like anything spiritual or esoteric or anything like that. And like I had to step back and just start like learning it all for myself instead. Yeah, and I was going to go to school to be an anthropologist. Like if that tells anybody anything about us, like I was going to go study people and she wanted to study graphs. Like
there you go.
Like, in a lot of cultures, like a lot of we're learning, like in India, like for instance, they have a beautiful relationship with food, and like one of their practices is that when they drink water, they need to be standing up and they need to not let the container that whatever it is in touch their lips, because when their lips touch the container, their body will be shocked by the water coming in, and they just want like the spirit of water to enter them and be able to like nourish them. And like they like have all these beautiful rituals around dinner. And then even like in France, like French people eat at like very specific times of the day, and they just like stop everything to go sit down at every single meal with family and friends and like eat. And like all these beautiful things still happen. And I think in a lot of like, and not like to be like Western or like American bashing, but like Americans are very convenient and like fast paced. And like most people like eat in their cars, like, and like instead of sitting down and having like a good relationship with their food, which like of course sometimes we got to eat in our cars, but that takes away the like I'm recognizing this food, I'm recognizing what I'm putting in my body, and like having that relationship about it. And then a lot of us have a lot of trauma around food. Like a lot of us have emotional baggage where like when we hit puberty, we were like the side of it that gained weight instead of got like a string bean, and we started hating ourselves because we would eat to make us feel better, and then we would eat because we hated ourselves, and like it was like a cycle or like something else. And those kind of like conditions or like talking about that kind of stuff is not widely talked about, like, in our culture.
Right.
And it's really, like, pushed down and almost fostered, like, in a lot of ways. Like, to not talk about it, but to make sure that you do it and make sure that you're cutting calories and making sure that you're looking at the scale, especially in female culture, because we're so, like, caught up in keeping weight. And I mean, like, that's shifted a lot the past, like, five-ish years, like, accepting the curvy body. But even that, it's like we should be accepting a healthy body, not a skinny one, not a curvy one. Like, we should be accepting, like, beautiful health, but we're still not doing that. Like,
Well, Tay, you know, on what you're talking about, you know, like, if you were to go to, like, on a BMI chart, I could never go off of a typical BMI chart because my body shape, it's not, my BMI is never going to be what it should be. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, my body structure does not fit the typical female figure.
Well,
you know, I don't know what I'm trying. You explained it better.
The BMI chart was designed around a specific body type, and if you fall outside of those parameters, like I'm in the same boat. I mean, if you look up my BMI, I'm actually borderline obese according to my BMI. Yeah, I'm not borderline obese.
No.
You know, but that's that's
Well,
what
I mean,
the BMI
like,
says.
But it's like
on our end, like,
yeah.
On our end, I am, like, Stephanie and I have, like, very similar bodies. Like, we have wider shoulders, thicker hips, like, that kind of thing. And so, like, we're considered the curvy women. And, like, truthfully, like, when you look at health statistics, we're, like, the beautiful type, which is the mesomorph female. But nobody likes to say that because, like, everybody wants to cut weight. But, like, I am 5'2", and I weigh 126 pounds. However, which is like, oh, great, 126 pounds. I am on the very, very top of my BMI. Like, I am borderline overweight instead of normal at 126 pounds. I think the BMI says I should be, like, 105 to 110.
Oh, my God.
And that's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
Like,
you would
not.
You would not look healthy at that weight, Tay.
No. I don't think I'd have muscles on my body or, like, be alive.
You know,
but, like, Laken is very tall, and so she can fit into the BMI of her size very easily, and she's usually underweight because she is, like, a lot leaner but very tall. And, like, the whole BMI culture is, like, something to kind of, like, angle your goal at, but with kind of, like, a 40-pound, like, leeway, like 20 pounds, like something like that on either side, because it's all based on, like, the very flouncy, like, no meat kind of people. And most of us aren't like that.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you know, Tay, it's like I lift bodies every day, like human bodies, okay? You know, I mean, I feel like I have muscle, you know, and so it's like I never have gone off of the BMI chart because I don't feel like it fits for my body type.
Yeah. No.
I think for weight, like, what you should look for is when you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Like, do you, like, see any cellulite? Do you see places where you need more muscle? Is your belly, like, the size that you want it to be? Like, and you should do, like, we have dogs, and so our lives revolve around dogs. But, like, on dogs, like, the way that you tell if they're healthy is you run your fingers down their ribs, and as long as you can feel the humps, but you can't feel, like, the indentations, then they're healthy. And that's the same thing for a person. If you run your fingers down your ribs and you can feel them or see them and in a healthy way, but you can't see the gaps, then you're a healthy weight.
Right.
Right. Well, you know, like, I'll say, like, I'm very pleased with my results, except on my belly, because I still have a little bit of my belly, right? But the thing about it, Tay and Laken, is my stomach, because I've had 3 babies, my stomach literally looks like a Zen garden, okay?
Yeah.
It literally
There's
looks
nothing
like...
you can do about that, girlfriend.
It literally looks... It doesn't matter how much weight I lose. That will never go away. But I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, three children, which one of them turned 13 yesterday. Anyways, I've accepted that about myself. That's one thing, since Jeremiah and I've been together, the fact that my belly, I do have, the stretch marks from having 3 children. It's never bothered me. You know what I mean? Like, it's never been an object of an insecurity for me, because I feel like, hell yeah, I earned those,
It's evidence you've
Well, and it
lived.
never should.
Right.
Like women should view those things like beautifully, because that's like a badge of honor. At least to me. I haven't had kids yet, but like I can't heckin' wait.
Yeah.
And like I want to get tattoos all over my body except for my stomach. And when people ask me why, I'm like, because my stomach's gonna get torn to shreds the
Yep.
moment that I have children. Like I
Yep.
don't want to have tattoos on it.
Yes. But yeah, it's just that's one thing that it's kind of surprising. But yeah, my stomach, the fact that my stomach has been stretched out immensely, 3 times, that's never bothered me. I've always thought it was pretty amazing to have babies. I created those. Holy shit, I grew a child. Like that's not something that everybody can say. Let alone 3 of them. And it's just, hey, Lena, it's just, it's pretty incredible. Like when you feel good about yourself inside, and outside. That's, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the goal, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
for
ready
sure.
to put a picture up on the.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's my probably one of my favorite memes, but it has a picture of a very freckled blonde woman, and as soon as it finishes loading here, I'll read it. But it says, oh come on, doggone it.
Carl said, "Really, I look good for Cindy having 4."
It says, I think freckles, stretch marks, tattoos, bruises, birthmarks, and scars are the coolest thing ever. You started with almost a blank canvas. Look at you now. All this evidence that you have lived."
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That says a lot right there. I want to kind of go back to something that you said a while ago about how a lot of us have, or a lot of us eat a lot of meals in our cars, and that got me to thinking about I think it's like 5, 6 years ago when I started a weight loss and kind of healthy living journey. At that point in time, I was up around 270, which that was pretty heavy for me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. I wasn't. I don't think was obese, but I was pretty heavy, and so, but I ate crap. I mean,
You lived at Quick Trip.
It was bad. I ate.
You lived at Quick
worst,
Trip.
Everything I ate was processed somehow or another. And so when I went through that, all I did was I changed my diet from processed foods to handmade foods. I made everything I ate from scratch. The only exception to that would be when I was working, because my job is so fast paced, and I was always too lazy to do the prep cooking and all that. But my job was so fast paced that I ate a lot of fast food and stuff like that while I was working. But outside of work, I ate healthy. Mm-hmm. Made from scratch meals, home cooked meals, and that type of thing. And it was really kind of amazing the way that when I changed that relationship, and it really was, it was like changing a relationship, and it was actually more like getting out of an abusive relationship and getting into a healthy relationship. I mean, really and truly, if you want to really get down to the nitty gritty of it, because that's what I felt like I went through. Because I actually went through it felt like I was going through withdrawal sometimes. The cravings for a 7-layer burrito.
See, and it's interesting you talk about. It's interesting he's talking about that, Tay and Laken, because since I started this, so before I started this journey with that you guys got me on, I would with like Jeremiah said, like with work and stuff like that, it's so fast paced and it's like you blink and it's like, holy shit, it's 2 p.m. I haven't eaten anything. I'll just, run to, I don't know, Burger King or whatever, whatever was close. And now I don't do that. I don't eat the fast food and I don't miss it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't miss it. Now I won't lie to you.
It's the candida.
Yes. And but I won't lie to you. I have eaten fast food a couple 2-3 times now, girls. I won't lie. I totally have had a cheat day once a month, by the way.
But like I said, I started that journey out at about 270, and within about 3 months, I was down to 230. My goal was 220. Because that was when I.
Are they still on?
Huh?
Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I just remembered that was the weight that I felt best at the last time I weighed that, which had been several years before. But when I got down to 230, after all of that, it was. I mean, it really was. It was almost traumatic. That changing the whole changing of the relationship with the food. It was crazy. But then I got down to the 230, and I just could not. For some reason, I could not make it past 230 until one day I was doing a little bit of research, and I came across an article. I don't even really remember what it said, but because of that article, I changed the type of sugar that I bought, number one, and I made the commitment to not eat in my car anymore.
Mm-hmm. It made all the difference.
Well,
And
a lot of like diet is revolved around like the whole eating in your car and everything. Like we eat more when we're not paying attention. Like we can go from eating like a serving size of chips, which is like absolutely ridiculous. Nobody eats that. They always eat the whole bag.
Mm-hmm.
But we go from eating a serving size of chips to eating the whole bag without realizing it because we were watching TV. Or we eat 3 7-layer burritos because they're in the bag sitting next to you while you're driving instead of having one. And when we focus on our food, like when we think about each bite and when we are eating at a dinner table or even just like eating at a table, we eat way less because we get full faster.
right.
Because a lot of our brain response to food is how many times we chew. And how many times you chew indicates to your brain how much food is going into your belly, and it will send the right hormones to make you stop.
Oh, wow.
That's really interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of the eating thing, so one thing ever since I was little, my parents were always like, we eat meals at the table. We don't eat in the living room. We eat meals together at the table. And I actually have continued that, and you can ask Jeremiah, like ever since the beginning, since him and I have been together, and it was before that, but it was a little bit different circumstances. But, girls, we literally, like, I make dinner or he makes dinner. Mostly I do, but that's because I enjoy it, cooking or whatever. But, we sit down at the table every night for dinner with, however many kids we have or whatever. But that's like super important to me because I feel like that's just, I don't know, that's just one of my biggest things. When I came into this relationship, I was like, we eat at the table. Like we sit at the table as a family and we eat and we put all the dishes or whatever we have, on the table. And, I feel like that's just, family time, like I'm big on family time when it comes to, meals and stuff like that. So I always feel like that's important. And I wish everybody, and do you think the downfall of eating, well, cultural and everything was when the TV tray happened or the TV dinners? I bet it was.
Yeah, I feel like that was a huge one. Like that
Mhm.
changed a lot, though.
Yeah.
Outside of like food and the way that we spend our free time and family connection, all of that. Like it's all very important. And it shouldn't feel like a chore either. It's not like, ugh, we have to sit and eat now. It's
Right.
Yay, we get to sit and eat now. Like,
Well, and like at our house, like Lake and I both love to cook, and we're both like really good at like different things, like different genres of food, I guess. And we actually enjoy like, and we get excited every day. It's like, oh babe, I'm gonna cook you this tonight.
Yes.
And like
yes.
sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it doesn't. But like then the person cooking the food is excited and putting love into it because it's an act of service, like to a loved one.
Yeah.
And then the person receiving the food is excited because this person is giving them a gift.
Yeah.
And like that's really what's happening when you're having family dinner. Is like, I mean, in typical households, like mom makes dinner, mom spent all this time on dinner, and like be grateful because it's a gift. Like she didn't have to feed you.
Yeah.
Like, and like the whole like revolving around food as a family should be, oh, like here's the dinner, how is everybody, like let's talk.
Yes.
Instead of like sitting in front of and like watching TV or
Yeah.
or whatever like that you're doing.
You know, and that's like the other day I even told Jeremiah, I'm like, you know, I don't enjoy, like if it's just, you know, if it's just me and, you know, my 3-year-old or whatever, and he's at work and none of the other kids are here, like I don't enjoy cooking near as much as I do when all of the kids and, you know, he's home. I love cooking big meals for my huge family.
Yeah.
I don't know.
have that intention too.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, it's.
So
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask Stephanie, since we're like on here, like how do you feel like after all of our stuff? Like what really changed? Like so that people can understand what getting rid of Candida does.
So I literally like the energy level, I feel like my energy level is way better than it's been in a long time. Like I said, I was on an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication before I started all this, and I was able to get off of it. You know, I feel very, I don't know what word to use. Not content, but like very secure in what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like I feel very like I rest better. Okay? I listen to my body way more about eating. Like I used to overeat like crazy, or I would, you know, like just go get a thing of fruit snacks or, you know, whatever. You know, I would drink soda like crazy. You know, quitting all of that stuff, it's like, I don't know, I just feel better about myself. And, you know, a long time ago, somebody told me that, you know, the best investment you can honestly do is invest in your body and invest in your health. That will pay off in the long run. And I believe that is correct. But yeah, and it's weird too, because it's almost like your taste buds change. And then it's like there's stuff like you don't even want it anymore. Does that make sense? There's certain foods that I used to love, and now I'm like, ugh, how did I eat that? You know, like another thing is like I used to crave like ice all the time. Like I used to want to chew on ice all the time, and that virtually went away. Like I don't feel the need to chew on ice anymore. Like the feeling of being thirsty, like Jeremiah was talking earlier, I was probably on the verge of, you know, being like critically dehydrated because I never even had a sense of feeling thirsty. Like I never did, right? And I never liked water. And now thanks to you girls, like I actually will be aware, like I need to, you know, I'm really thirsty, you know. And another indicator is, you know, not to be disgusting here, but what color is your urine? You know, is it almost clear? Is it like light yellow? Like that's a big indicator for me of how hydrated I am.
Yeah, I mean that's the best indicator, truthfully.
Your body tells you what you need to know.
Yeah,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you sweating? Like, is it the middle of July and are you sweating? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I don't sweat, and I'm like, then are you okay?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Do I
Yeah.
have water in your bottle?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and the other cool thing is, you know, the kids, like my kids, like, you know, you set an example. I mean, my kids have seen like this transformation, you know, because so yeah, from July, so I started y'all's program on July 9th, and I first weighed myself on July 18th, and I was at 218. And as of Friday, last Friday, I was at 167. So that's like 51 pounds. And like I said, that's, you know, 167. That's 3 pounds from what I set out to my goal. Because my goal has always been like pre-baby weight, which I was like 164. And so like that's always been kind of my ideal weight. Now, like when Jeremiah and I first got together, I was less than that. And he thought I looked great, but I felt like I looked too thin at that weight. But the one thing, it's like, because I've continued to lose, Tay and Laken, like I haven't maintained, like I've continued to lose weight. And so, you know, my next goal, you know, when I get to where I want to be, you know, got to figure out how do I maintain instead of continuing to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like really that all comes like I was worried about that personally. Like when I started my wellness journey, I lost 50 pounds, and like when I got down like around 135, I was like, is this too much? Like, am I gonna be too skinny? And then somehow like my body kind of reached homeostasis at 126, and that's like, I don't know what about that number is. I guess it's like 164 for you too.
Right.
But like that's like where my body likes it. And so I'm always 126 pounds and 0.7, you know?
It's like your set, it's
and
called a
I
set
think that
point, right?
our
A set
bodies,
point?
like our bodies reach a point where they like it as long as you're giving it enough food. Like if I don't eat enough, I'll lose weight. If I'm eating too much, I'll gain weight. But if my diet is right, it'll be like right around like the same amount. And like Lakes is too, like she will stay like right around the same weight. And like for you, Stephanie, like I'm sure that like your body will stop when it feels good. Like
Right.
as long as you consume enough calories and like all of that, like
Right. And I'm sure that, you know, it makes me kind of wonder if, yeah, like 164 is my goal. But, you know, like I said, when Jeremiah and I got together, I was at like 152. And I kind of wonder if that's where what you're talking about is for me, because that's kind of like the weight that I was at.
I have to think because, you know, okay, so forgive me if I'm saying something on live stream that I shouldn't, but you had body image issues.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
I think those body image issues are resolved or getting close to being resolved.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they've gotten a lot better anyway.
Oh, yeah, girls. Like, you have no, like, it was bad. Like, yeah. Well, you know, because I was heavy for a long time. And, you know, when I lost weight, the first time I lost weight, yeah, I had serious body image issues. Like, I would look at clothing and I would be like, there's no way that fits me. You know, like, I would find myself.
And then it would be too big.
Yeah. Or, like, I would find myself, you know, like, you know, going into, like, a bathroom, like, at Walmart or Quick Trip or whatever. I used to automatically go for, like, you know, the bigger bathroom. And then I was like, holy shit, I can go in the little bathroom and it's not even a thing. I can, you know, I can comfortably use that restroom. Or, you know, you know, sitting at a booth versus sitting at a table in a restaurant, you know, just the little things. It's weird. Like, I'll never forget, like, one of the big milestones for me, and this is so simple, but it was huge for me, was when one day I was sitting down and I noticed my butt was sitting on my ankles. Okay, like I was like sitting on my knees, or you know what I mean, like on my knees or whatever, and my butt cheeks were touching my ankles, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. You know, it's the little things, man. It's the little things that you don't realize. Or like, I'll look at something, for example, like my scrubs, okay? When I started, when I started this back in July, an extra large scrubs were tight, okay? And now, girlies, I'm in mediums and my pants, or I'm swimming in my pants, and my tops are, I can, I fit them comfortably. They're not too snug or, anything. But but then it's like I look at my scrub top, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know that this is a medium, but in my mind, I still think, well, it looks really big. Like there must be some kind of a, like a mental something with, like in my mind, I still feel or think that I'm a lot bigger than I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I got up to a size 14 at my heaviest, which for a little gal like me, only 5'2", like when I had to put on a pair of 14 jeans because the 12s didn't fit and because the 10s didn't fit, I was like, oh my God.
Well, Tay, I'm like, only an inch taller than you.
Yeah, that's true. But we also, like, you carried your weight differently than mine. Nobody could tell I was overweight because my top was the same. Like, I could still wear a small on top.
Yeah.
And like all my weight was in my legs. And like when I'm a 2 now. And
wow.
Every time that I go jean shopping, I go to like around like 6s and 8s because I'm probably around here. Mm-hmm. And like then I'll put them on and I'll be like, oh, these will just fall off. Like,
yeah.
And getting into that mindset again, like going clothes shopping after you've lost weight, like it's so different. And like I always remembered in high school, like wanting the opposite, like, oh well, there's always a size smaller, let's go to the size smaller because, or like lose weight. And now I'm like, dang, I gotta gain some weight. Like,
yeah,
I'm only a 2.
yes, and and that's like, so. I want to say I was up to, girls, when I started this journey with you guys, I think I was to the point that I didn't even attempt to wear jeans. I would wear leggings, that mindset.
Yeah.
And then, I got in the jeans and I'm like, man, I can wear jeans or whatever. And now I'm like rocking I don't even know what style these are. Skinny jeans, I think.
Yeah.
I think they like fit at the ankles, They're actually really cute. Like all the ones I got, they have like zippers at the ankles or whatever. But it's just it's just like, oh my God, like I enjoy buying clothes now. Like I don't wear all black all the time anymore. I actually will wear a button-up shirt or, it's just really, really cool. But yeah, I would say that's my biggest struggle is the reality of the size of my body, because in my mind it's still a lot bigger than I actually am.
I think you've gone through a lot of improvement on that, though.
See, and I didn't even realize that.
Because, well, I mean, think about it. So 4 years ago, when you were actually smaller than you even are now.
Yeah.
Would you have ever, in a million years, put on a pair of skinny jeans?
No, never. Mm-mm.
But now you rock them every chance you get because
I do. I love them.
They look good on you.
They do.
So
they do.
I mean,
I guess that is progress. I guess you're right.
It is, and it's. I think
he's right.
And it's just my take on it. Tay and Laken, tell me what you guys think. But it's this. What? Oh, but tell me what you guys think. But it's not an overnight thing.
No.
No. Especially when you have any kind of body image issues. When I was going through my journey, I didn't really have the body image issues. I just wanted to feel better.
Yeah, you're pretty hot.
Whatever, but
I mean, like, like men, like no offense to the male species, but men aren't raised to have body image issues. They're raised
That's
to have
true.
emotional issues of
That's
like being
true.
too emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like women are raised to have body image issues because like culture kind of makes us like what our face value is like what like our mates get, so we have to make it look the best, you know?
Yeah.
And like a lot of times, like I know like for me my weight was mostly inflammation because I was eating things I wasn't supposed to. And so like when you have inflammation weight, it's all in your face and in your arms and in like your hips if you're a woman and things like that. And so now like I actually when I started weightlifting and going to the gym, I had like a major meltdown because I was at a really small size, like I was at a healthy weight, but when I started lifting weights, I started getting jacked and my muscles grew. And I remember I had like dress shirts for work, and when I bought them, they fit perfectly. And as I kept working out, they started to feel tight, like over my shoulders and my back. And I started to freak out, like I was like gaining weight again in my arms, because that was my big thing, was that my sleeves would be too tight and things like that. And I had to like sit myself down in front of the mirror and like look at my new muscles and say, this is not fat, this is healthy, it's okay that your arms are getting bigger, and like things like that. And like even now, like if I have like a slight, like if I got new muscles in my thighs or something, I'm like, oh, it's fat. And then like it'll have to be like, no, that's muscle, like you're fine. Like,
So I have to.
but it's all like the way you look and the ways that your like insecurities go. Like mine is my legs and my arms, like
Oh yeah, like speaking of arms, so this is like super funny, right? So before I started all this, I would always joke about like my arms because my on my scrub tops, you know, because scrub tops there's no give, okay? Like there is no give. They're not stretchy. It's you put it on and that's what it is, right? Well, with the scrub tops, like the arms would be like really tight on my, when I was wearing the extra large or whatever. And I remember one day I like raised my arm and I was like moving it and my arm fat was just jiggling. And I was like, damn, I need to put an American flag on there. It could be flapping in the wind. Okay. Anyways, but then yeah, it's like now, and that's another, sign for me that it's like, yeah, physical. Because, we don't look at ourselves through another person's eyes. We live in our own bodies. And so the only way we have to see ourselves is, in the mirror or look down or whatever. And so it's really hard to, when you're living in your own skin, and it's not an overnight thing. And so it's like, you work really hard and then you start to see results and it's like, okay, so this doesn't fit like it used to. So I must be doing something right, because when you start to see results, that's awesome. And to have more energy or to, feel like I can, run or, which I don't do, by the way, but I could if I wanted to, right? I wouldn't get so wiped out. But it's just really cool, especially like when your kids are like, I'm so proud of you, Mom. Like, you look great. You've lost a lot of weight, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, definitely. And it works kind of like in the negative way, the other side, because a lot of us like don't realize that like we got unhealthy, that we gained too much weight until it's already there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're like, shit,
Oh, yeah.
And it works the same way the other way, just kind of more with like derived intent. Like
Yes. Oh, thank you, Christy. Christy said, I so need to do what you've done, Steph. Yeah, Christy, you're amazing. You could totally do it too. You should reach out to Tay and Laken if you want to do it, because they're incredible. Yeah, you guys are fucking amazing, just so you know, in case you didn't. But
well, thanks.
Yes, you are. And I am so grateful and the utmost gratitude from me to you two for helping me through this and getting me to this point. And yeah, I was really, really hoping to reach my goal by today, just for the simple fact that, hey, they're on and I'm at my goal. But then the Rona hit and I was like existing on the couch for 2 weeks. Well, not existing on the couch entirely, but
even beside that, though, you got damn close.
I did. I got really close. And it will happen. It will happen. And it'll keep
It will.
going. It'll keep going. And then what's really cool, guys, is then like the pictures you see on like our little intro, that's me. And it actually will look like me.
Hey guys, I hate to say it, but it is like 8:30, and so
Time flies when
Yeah.
you're having fun.
we're gonna have to cut out. But there's something I want to do. I want to get you guys back on as soon as we possibly can, as soon as we can make it work. And I want to do another episode focusing more on the spirituality of all this, because I feel like that, of course, that it all needs to be talked about, but I feel like that side of it kind of got shortchanged a little bit tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So-
For sure.
Yeah.
So, Tay, Laken, each of you, what would you say to anybody out there who is kind of like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. Like, what would you say to them? I want to do it, but I don't know if I could.
Wait, what?
Well, so
Cut out a little bit.
anybody out there who's listening who might be interested in this, doing this journey with you guys, as you being the mentors or whatever, like, if there's somebody who is questioning whether or not they could do it, what would you say to them?
Of course you can do it. We can all do anything we want to do.
Yeah.
I guess like what I would say is that all of our coaching is based on you and like you being in control, you like telling us what you like, what you don't like. Like we don't put people in boxes and we don't put baby in the corner. And like,
I love that.
we want to make sure that it's tailored to you and to make sure that it works, because we don't want people like dropping off the wagon. We don't want people giving up. We want to get them through it. And if that, like Stephanie, you were like a freaking rock star. You just did it. But
Hell
a
yeah,
lot
I
of
did.
people can't get through the Candida cleanse. Like,
Nope,
they
that was
just
hard.
can't do it. And like, so we'll modify it for them. And like, we just like, I guess like for new people, just like they need to know that we'll help you through it. Like that's our job. And you just have to trust us. Like that's it.
Yeah. And you guys are, you're
Yeah,
just
that's awesome.
my two little kindred spirit people. I love you both very much.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we'll reach out in the next day or two and see when we can schedule you guys back on again, because I definitely, like I said, I want to focus next time more on the spiritual side of all this, because like you were just kind of talking about, without really saying it as much, I feel like that's where the staying power of all this is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
We'll have to recruit Laken for that talk because she can go hard on the spiritual nutrition.
I'll talk more on that one.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. But one last thing before we let you go. So what's interesting is when I started all this or whatever, and it was becoming evident I was starting to lose weight, and people would be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm telling them what I'm doing, and they're like, or they'd be like, "Oh, I need to lose weight too. What are you doing?" And I tell them, they're like, "Oh, hell no." And so I definitely, that is like we talked in the beginning, you've got to want it.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
That goes back to what you said about change happening when discomfort
yeah.
meets desire.
Yeah.
So
I need to put that on a shirt, I think.
you should.
It's true. Anyways, my lovely, lovely friends, you're amazing, and we'll be in touch. And yeah, let's get you back on to cover the spiritual side of things, because that's just as important,
It's absolutely,
if not
important.
more important than the rest. Well, no, it's about all.
It's all important, but
Yeah.
it all plays its own role.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Well, thank you so much for having us on again. We love you
thank
guys.
you.
Oh, we love you too.
absolutely, thank you for coming on. We will put your Facebook page and website up on the video description for anyone that wants to look you guys up.
Oh yeah.
And
sure,
I
for sure.
shared this on pretty much every page I have access to. So hopefully a few people will see it and reach out to you guys.
Yes. Will you all
Awesome.
have a fabulous evening and enjoy your week? Make it a good one. I know you will.
You guys too.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Off.
Yep.
Oh, I
That
mean it, man.
is-
They are just like the neatest two girls.
They
and,
are. They really are.
You know, I'm just like, man, I just love them so much. Absolutely love them.
We really should go out there and try to go out there and see them sometime. I mean, they're not that far away, like
No.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, should I drive that almost daily?
I know, right? Right?
Yeah. True story, people. I drive a lot. But anyways, yeah, that was amazing. And I'm like so grateful for them for, sticking it out with me and, and they're so positive and uplifting and they're totally there for you and they'll listen to your concerns and they'll listen to your needs and they'll listen to what you're wanting and they will come up with a plan specifically for you and they have just hearts of gold.
Yeah.
And they really do want to help you.
Yes.
Like that's their goal, to help people. And, yeah, they're amazing. And anybody who is out there that might, be curious about it or whatever, like I would tell you to reach out to them.
And it's not even necessarily all about weight loss. Even if you just want a healthier lifestyle or
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they could tailor something just to address the spiritual side of things.
Oh,
that
for
spiritual
sure.
relationship with
For
food
sure.
and with
Or if you just want to learn,
all the other stuff around you,
or
it
if
just-
even if you're just wanting to learn just a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have to be, and the thing about it is like learning, body wellness, weight loss comes along with that because when you cut out all that stuff, you're automatically going to lose weight.
right.
I totally know this is like a paranormal podcast and metaphysical, but this, I mean, really and truly, like
This is metaphysics. I mean, I know tonight seemed like it wasn't so much, but it'll all tie together when we do the spirituality episode with them because
yeah. See, if I was
I mean,
thinking earlier before we went live, like I would have focused in on,
I think it probably needed to be done in 2 episodes.
I think you're right.
So-
You're right. But yeah, people. So I'm super proud of myself, and I've worked my ass off, and it's working. I mean, it worked. July, August, September, October. Not even 5 months.
Yeah.
Not even 5 months. So if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, I might be a force to be reckoned with, but I'm pretty damn determined.
That's the thing. It's just it has to be. Before we brought them on, we were talking a little bit about the Sag personality type.
Yeah.
And, that's just part of your makeup is that ability to make a decision and just follow through with it.
Oh yeah.
Despite the common misconceptions about Sagittariuses, that's something that they have in common. Where a lot of other people that comes a little bit more difficult to, but everyone has that ability.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of,
For sure.
like you said, you need to make a shirt about this. Change happens when discomfort meets desire.
It's true.
So,
It's true. That's one of the most profound things I've ever said. One of them. But yeah, it is. It's yeah, but I would encourage any of you people out there watching that if you aren't, at your best you that you possibly could be and you want to strive for that, they definitely can give you the tools to do it. But it is a two-way street. I mean, you got to want it. They can't make you do it, Oh, Ash is a freaking Leo, so pride is an issue. Oh, you Leo. I'm very, very well versed with the Leos. I am. My dad's a Leo.
I know. My mom's a Leo.
Yeah.
They have the same birthday.
Stubborn. They're good people, though. Loyal,
Yes.
trustworthy, dependable.
Yep.
They like to be on time.
Yep.
Yep. Anyways, well, that's all I got for tonight. And join us next week for another episode of Darkness Live.
Yes. I'm not sure what's going on next week, but we will keep you posted. And keep an eye out just because...
Christy's married to a Leo. She gets it. Christy gets it.
Keep an eye out because for any announcements, we may have a random impromptu live investigation going on this weekend. We will see how that works and see what happens with it, but it's going to be fun if we do. And then not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that is the next episode of
Darkness Tavern.
Yes.
Oh my God! And if anybody saw it last time, let's never talk about that again.
Yeah.
Let's never talk about that episode ever again. Yeah, that was.
You can't get mad at me when I cut you off.
No. So, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Jeremiah and I and some other amazing people, we do this thing my lisp is back once a month called Darkness Tavern, where it is literally everybody has drinks and everybody has a good time, and we just shoot the shit and talk about whatever we want. And I disclose way too much personal information.
We try to keep it towards paranormal topics, but it doesn't usually work that way.
No. Well, Stephanie decided to have a adult beverage.
Lightweight.
And like 2 adult beverages.
Lightweight.
And I divulged way too much information that should never have gone on the internet ever. And I can't take it back. It's out there forever for everybody to go listen to.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, considering, no, it wasn't bad. It was actually really good. But, anyways, well, we love you people. And reach out if you need anything or if you have any questions. And, yeah, you got anything else? Have a great rest of your week.
Yes, absolutely. Be safe, stay healthy, and join us next time around when we keep shaking hands with the shadows.
Yeah. You guys have a good night.
Did I get it right that time?
I believe so.
I think I did.
And Ben and Claire aren't even on watching, and you got it. You got it right. All right, we'll see you guys in a week.
Love
have a
you
good
guys.
one. Mwah.
Like, share, subscribe, whatever the case is, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.